In the deep shadows of our world, there are stories where humanity is not the hunter, but the hunted. These are the chronicles of creatures who, through injury, circumstance, or a terrifying shift in nature, turn their predatory gaze upon us. We begin with the whisper of a name that terrified a nation, the spotted devil of Rudraprayag. For 8 long years, beginning in 1918, this single leopard held the Rudraprayag district of India in a grip of fear. It wasn't just a hunter, it was a specter that claimed 125 lives. As dusk fell, the world outside became the leopard's domain. Villagers sealed their homes, but safety was an illusion. The leopard learned. It tore through doors, leaped through windows, and clawed its way through thatched roofs, snatching people from their beds and dragging them into the consuming darkness. An entire region was under siege. Even elite soldiers failed to end its reign. Finally, in 1926, the legendary hunter Jim Corbett took on the task. After a grueling 10-week hunt, he finally faced and killed the phantom. An examination revealed an old beast, its body riddled with buckshot from failed attempts by other hunters, but nothing that would prevent it from hunting its natural prey. Corbett concluded the leopard had acquired its taste for humans years earlier during a cholera epidemic, scavenging unburied bodies. When the disease waned, so did its easy meals. But its preference had been set in stone. From India, we traveled to the waters of Lake Victoria in Africa, home to a monster named Osama. Between 1991 and 2005, this colossal crocodile was blamed for the deaths of over 83 people. The true number may never be known, as many victims were lone fishermen, pulled from their boats and consumed whole. Sometimes, a tattered piece of clothing would wash ashore, other times, a limb. Survivors told tales of children being snatched from the water's edge. But Osama's terror was unique. It developed a horrifying tactic, ramming boats from below, catapulting fishermen into the water. It would even launch its massive body vertically from the depths, belly flopping onto vessels to grab its prey. Of all who were attacked, only 15 survived to bear the scars and tell the tale. In 2005, the monster was finally captured, ending a 14-year nightmare. Our journey takes us back to the Kumaon division of India, to a story of a deadly partnership. Between 1925 and 1930, an old tigress and her young adult cub terrorized a 1,500-mile mountain region, claiming 64 confirmed victims. They were intelligent, alternating their attacks between villages to cultivate confusion and fear. After 3 years of relentless slaughter, the locals sought the help of Jim Corbett. It took him 3 separate trips over 2 years to track the cunning pair. On his final expedition, he baited an area and waited. A warning from a companion sent him around a corner, where he found himself standing just 8 feet from the matriarch. A single shot ended her reign. Her cub was dispatched shortly after. Corbett discovered the tigress's claws and canine teeth were broken, her front teeth worn to the bone, an injury that had forced her to turn to the only prey she could still kill: humans. In the late 1892s, the Tsavo region of Kenya became a theater of horror. 2 male lions, known as the Tsavo man-eaters, began preying on the men building the Kenya-Uganda Railway. Between March and December of 1898, the lions would stalk the campsites, dragging workers from their tents in the dead of night. The official death toll is uncertain, ranging from 28 to 135, as records for the African workers were tragically not kept. At first, 1 lion would hunt. Soon, their boldness grew, and they began to hunt in tandem, each claiming a victim in a single night. The attacks became so frequent and terrifying that hundreds of workers fled, bringing the entire railway project to a halt. Finally, Colonel John Henry Patterson was tasked with stopping them. The first lion was brought down after a tense night hunt. The second was a different beast, entirely a true monster, that absorbed 9 bullets from 3 different guns over 11 days before a final shot from Patterson ended its life. Today, their legendary forms are displayed at the Field Museum in Chicago. Deeper in Africa, in Burundi, whispers speak of a creature that is more myth than animal: Gustave. A Nile crocodile of unprecedented size, he is rumored to have killed as many as 300 people along the Ruzizi River. Unlike other predators, Gustave is said to kill for sport, leaving victims uneaten. His massive size, believed to be the largest ever recorded for his species, may prevent him from hunting agile prey, forcing him to target humans and larger animals. His body is a roadmap of his legend, covered in scars from what locals claim are multiple gunshot wounds from an AK-47, leading to the belief that his hide is bulletproof. To this day, every attempt to capture him has failed. For all we know, the legend of Gustave still swims in the dark waters of Burundi. We return to India, to the Panar region, and to a male leopard responsible for over 400 deaths in the early 20th century. This creature, known as the Panar man-eater, was a master of the night. His efficiency was so great that he forced villagers into a self-imposed curfew, locking themselves away after sunset. But the leopard adapted, learning to break into their homes. The government, desperate, once again called upon Jim Corbett. The hunt was arduous. Corbett, battling malaria, trekked for days to reach the leopard's territory. He set a trap, tying a goat as bait and waiting in a tree. As darkness fell, he heard a rustle, then the goat's final cry. Firing blind into the night, he heard an angry grunt and the sound of the beast retreating. Against his better judgment, he agreed to track the wounded animal that night, with villagers holding torches for light. When the leopard charged from the darkness, the villagers panicked, dropping the torches and plunging the jungle into chaos. In that split second of flickering light, Corbett fired multiple shots, killing the beast. He later wrote that had the villagers not fallen, he would have been left in total darkness, and the leopard would have been the one to walk away. Our final and most chilling story is of the single deadliest animal to have ever lived, the Champawat Tigress. Her legacy is written in blood, with an estimated 436 deaths in Nepal and India during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a number that earned her a place in the Guinness Book of World Records. Her reign of terror began in Nepal. When hunters failed to stop her, the Nepalese army was deployed, managing only to push her across the border into India. There, her killing spree continued. She was unique in her audacity, hunting in broad daylight, paralyzing entire communities with fear. For 4 agonizing years, she ruled the forests. Finally, in 1907, a 1-year-old hunter accepted the challenge. He began his hunt with a 4-day trek, arriving in a ghost town where locals were too terrified to leave their homes. Following the trail of her latest victim, he devised a plan. He had the villagers make a tremendous noise, a wall of sound, to drive the tigress from the dense jungle toward him. The plan worked. The tigress emerged, and he fired, wounding her. After a tense chase, he cornered the injured animal. As she launched her final charge, the hunter fired his last shot, and the devil of India fell silent forever. Upon examining her, he found her right canines, top and bottom, were broken, an old injury from a hunter's bullet that had prevented her from hunting her natural prey. The young man who ended her 7-year nightmare, who brought peace to countless villages, was the very same hunter from our other tales, the legendary Jim Corbett. His name would become synonymous with courage and the end of monsters.